Welcome to Vikings football with head coach Bruce Barnum as the Portland State Vikings get ready to open Big Sky Conference play this week. The Vikings are traveling to Weber State this Saturday. Game time is 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific time, and you can watch that on ESPN+. Plus, the Vikings, the Wildcats, opening Big Sky Conference play this season. We're going to get to that game in just a moment. Coach, the Vikings have a game under their belt. Took a loss up at Washington State. Everybody saw it. It was on national TV. You saw it. You've seen the video now. What's your recap? A few takeaways you have from that game, maybe a few of the good and a few of the bad.
Mike, never as bad as you thought on game day, or never as good, honestly. Came out of that game. There were some bright spots. There were some bright spots with players. You know, some guys showed up 15 till they had a snafu at halftime. DeLon, 24, a little tailback. I thought ran hard, 84. Crazy guy Spence showed up and did some great things. And Joe, Sefo over on defense, I thought did a hell of a job. So, we have some things to clean up, as everybody after week one. I'm anxious for this week. We sat down, we corrected some things and talked about it, and we're anxious to get to Weber State.
All right, two thoughts on the game. Thought number one, you already mentioned DeLon Thompson had a tremendous game. Redshirt freshman, 96 rushing yards, had a big play in the first quarter that led to a touchdown. He, along with guys like, of course, Quincy Craig, Eric Denham, some new receivers on the outside, Brandon Alvarez. You had a lot of new guys, a lot of young guys in those skill positions, and you put up 30 points. So that had to be pretty satisfying.
It was, and it was sloppy. It was a sloppy 30 points against a Pac-2 team. So, I think that bodes well for our future on offense. Don't get me wrong, we have to clean some things up and maybe show Weber a little bit more than they saw on video Kill the Radio Star this week, and see if we can score a couple on the Wildcats. Who knows?
All right, and then on the defensive side, obviously Washington State has had that great passing attack for years. New quarterback, he came in, he was ready to go, threw the ball extremely well. Your guys saw a really, really fast offense that was able to make some big plays. How does that rate in terms of what they're going to see the rest of the year?
The speed we won't see probably till Boise State, Mike. In Big Sky, might have one or two of those guys, but overall, I thought they had great team speed. Their quarterback had a hell of a day. We helped them a couple, with some things we did that we'll clean up this week, but. That speed hopefully helps us in the future as well, because the game does slow down a little bit when you get to the FCS level.
Okay, and we're about to get to the FCS level, Coach, as we lead into Weber State. I know you don't talk about injuries, we don't talk about those types of things, but I probably should have asked you this last week before the first game. Give me a rating, 1 to 10, your team, 10 being healthiest, 1 being completely unhealthy. How does your team rate right now going into Big Sky play health-wise?
7.
7.
And that's that's adjustable. We got a couple MRIs I'm waiting on, a couple CAT scanners.
Well, there's a couple MRIs. We should let folks know there's a couple MRIs every week.
I don't know.
Every week during the season, right? So that's not unusual.
But it's all about the results. Like you open the package, you get a twig or you get a shiny star on Christmas morning. But I've heard back from all except 2, and it's been positive, so we'll see.
Okay, so relatively healthy going into the game with Weber State. Now let's talk about that. Weber State is a team we haven't seen for a couple of years. They've been nationally ranked the last few years. They've won some Big Sky titles a few years back. So really a quality opponent as we go into this. They're ranked 24th in the nation, but we haven't seen them in 2 years. They have a new coach. How's the preparation different compared to what you used to see in the past against the Wildcats?
Well, they do have a new coach. Coach Mickey's the new head coach, but he was there prior, and they kept a lot of the staff. They have a quality football staff, all sides of the ball, and they've been there a while, and they know what they're doing. They're good coaches, so that's where you start, because they'll do anything. You remember, I think about 3 years ago, they ran 3 fake punts against Eastern Washington. I think Eastern was undefeated. Their special teams is a puzzle. You never know what to expect. It's like it's a surprise, and you have to be prepared for that. And they're always a tough football team. They've been known for their defense in the past, and they're just as strong as they've always been. with Duff, and there's two of them running it right now. But they're a good football team, Mike. They're ranked for a reason. So we talked before, I'd rather play the ranked teams than the lower divisions. Let's see where the hell we're at.
Okay. The Wildcats last week played at Washington, lost 35-3. Struggled a little bit on offense, not unexpected, but they have a running back. Damon Bankston ran for over 100 yards. What did you see from him on film, and how talented he is?
He's fun to watch. He's a little one. He's not a big one. But he's fun to watch, hard to catch. The quarterback runs it. He's got experience. I like him up front, But I think a tailback, and they play off of him with the RPO game or the run-pass option. That's kind of their base, what they're going to do on that side of the football. The other side, they like to play man, Play a little bit of three versus Washington, probably because of speed, but their man is cover one, mainly with a safety in the middle of the field. But that's who they are. They do mix it up, and we've already talked about special teams, You have to be prepared. They're always number 1 or 2 in special teams in the conference.
All right, and defensively, like we said, you had some pretty good production, 449 yards, 30 points. And you're right, there was a lot of holes to fill still there on offense. How are you going to match up with them, their defense? I know you look at a lot of their defensive film.
We do. I've been looking at it all. Just first Big Sky opponent, early Big Sky game, so we wanted to make sure we had an idea even before we played Washington State. But what they do on defense, again, I think we match up personnel-wise a little bit more. But what they do is hard to move the ball against. They don't want you to run the football. We like to run the football. And we're not as much in the RPO game. We're either doing this or we're chucking it. I'm curious about the matchup. I know they play hard and they find a way to win. So I'm looking forward to this one.
All right. 3 years ago, the Vikings went into Ogden. Wildcats were ranked 24th in the nation. Vikings came out with a win. That was a great one. Vikings going to Ogden again this week. Wildcats ranked 24th in the nation. What are going to be the keys to the game?
Deja vu. That's all we need, right? No. You're playing over there. You're playing at their yard, which doesn't affect us as much. We kind of like everybody's yard, Everybody's yard is kind of nice to play at, so we'll deal with that. Knowing that that might cost us 6 or 7 points, but turnovers and field position, Mike, I'm not going to change. We're not going to take any crazy ass chances over there. I need to control the field and make their offense drive a long one and be able to matriculate and run the football against them and take care of it. So those 3 things, because last time we went there was third downs. They're leading the nation in third downs. That was kind of the focus. That's always there with us. Our third down, production. Weren't happy with it last week, and we were only at 40 or under 50%, which isn't very good. But again, take care of the football, field position. Short answer.
All right, Vikings are going to get on an airplane. What do you prefer? Now, we were on a bus last week to Pullman, and that's a long ride, folks. My back is still sore. On an airplane this week, what do you prefer? Bus rides, airplane flights?
Airplane, Mike, just quicker operation. It's good to get on a bus once in a while for the rod, with your football team, the camaraderie and the coaches and that, but we don't have to make a living at that. It would be nice to fly. When we're flying to, we got a couple charters this year as well, so that'll help out and getting to Tennessee and Montana and in the snow era. But this is an easy flight in to Salt Lake City Friday. We do come back Sunday morning though without the charter, but we'll get there and see what we can do.
All right. The team that wins this Saturday is going to be on top of the Big Sky Conference for 3 weeks because it's the only conference game for the next 3 weeks. It's an unusual situation, but it's the one that the Vikings are in. Everybody's going to be looking at Portland State versus Weber State this Saturday in Ogden, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific time. You can watch the game on ESPN+. For all your information on Vikings football, go to GoVikes.com.